Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of our Mandalorian
Greg
podcast.
is wearing a fancy shirt and fancy pants. You can't see it. We're not doing video. But he's dressed up in a fancy shirt and fancy pants. I just feel like people should know.
It's because I have a job outside the podcast.
So do I.
I thought I'd take this one seriously because this is a very important episode. Right? This is a very important episode.
For the time we are not doing video.
I wore shorts and a t-shirt to work today. I put on this button-up shirt just for this episode. That's just, I'll have you know.
I got dressed up for the non-video podcast that we are doing.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I take this seriously.
This is serious.
This is serious.
This is serious stuff. I apologize for not taking it seriously. Please continue.
I expect a shirt and tie.
Please continue what you were saying.
I will. Thank you. So this is another episode of our Mandalorian podcast where we're talking about the newest episodes that drop in the Mandalorian season 2. So remember, we are entering into heavy spoiler territory. So if you have not seen
talking about it all.
Talk about everything. Stop listening to this. Go watch episode and then come on back.
Go away.
This is episode, I think it's chapter 13.
13.
Right? Chapter 13. The Jedi, which we've been waiting for this.
This is exactly what I talked about last episode where I was waiting for this episode.
Yeah.
I wanted this last time to be able to see Ahsoka Tano live action, and we finally get it in this episode. And we are not disappointed. That is for sure.
Super cool, man. That scene at the beginning where she's just picking people off in the forest,
and disappearing,
turning off her lightsaber so she disappears.
Yeah,
that was super cool.
And a different fighting style than we've seen with lightsabers in the past.
Well, she's got that backward grip.
Yeah, well, not just the backward, not just the reverse grip.
Yeah.
But just the stealthiness that can be used with the lightsabers. Like in all other battle scenes with a lightsaber, as soon as the lightsaber comes on, you're like, oh, we're about to get into something here.
Right,
we're about to see something big. I think back to like Clone Wars when Yoda, for the first time we see him fighting with a lightsaber.
Yeah,
you see him turn it on and he's flipping on. It's a huge fight. Yeah. With Ahsoka Tano, we get to see how a Jedi can use their lightsaber and still be like stealthy with their attacks and with picking people off left and right.
So are you saying she's the first intelligent Jedi?
I'm not saying she's the first. Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, so she's the first ninja Jedi.
She's a ninja Jedi. That's really
Jedi, yeah.
Well, I just think she is. We've talked about this before. Ahsoka Tano she's not technically a Jedi anymore.
Of course, yeah. Force user.
She's a Force user, but I just think she is so assured in who she is now.
Yeah.
And I mean, like based off of where she's come from in Clone Wars and Rebels, like she is so confident in who she is and just the way that she's going to work. We're used to seeing so many of the same styles and approaches with Jedi. Like seeing something different was just very refreshing.
It kind of reminded me of the feeling I got the first time we saw Darth Maul.
Right.
It's just like, this is something new, there's something different, there's something cool about it, you resonate with it.
Yeah.
This is a much older, wiser, more calculated Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah,
and that's
very
really
much
cool to
so.
see.
So we learn here that she's able to talk to Grogu.
Who? The child?
The child Grogu.
Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda. I actually prefer Baby Yoda.
I think the whole world prefers Baby Yoda.
I think everybody...
I don't think they anticipated how much people would latch on to Baby Yoda.
Right.
And even the child, I feel like it's still really weird. We'll get used to it as the show goes on, but Grogu is just...
I think they put Grogu out there and now you're like,
wait.
Nah.
Can we have another one?
Not gonna do Grogu. We're not gonna do that. It's definitely too close to like Goku.
Yeah.
And like I'm getting like Grogu. So Grogu, she's able to have the conversation with him through the Force. She's able to communicate with him. And that doesn't distract her from what she needs to do. She literally then decides after talking to Mando, after learning about Grogu's past, which we'll talk about in a minute. But she then is just like, nope, I have to do what I have to do to get to the warlord who is over this city that we are embattled with.
Right, yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that. So she stays very focused on her mission to save the people of this planet, right? So she's on Corvus. And there's.
Do you think she? I don't think it's about saving the people. I mean, to an extent, but I think that is a side. That is almost an added bonus compared to what she's trying to get in information.
Oh yes. Oh well, yeah, for sure. She's been. It's not coincidence that she's going after Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah.
So Morgan Elsbeth has been ruling over the people on Corvus, and she has some pretty colored past of having her planet kind of wiped out during the Clone Wars, and then joining up on the Empire, helping build the galactic Navy, the Empire's Navy, which puts her into direct contact with the name that Ahsoka has been trying to get out of her, this information about this name. And that's the big drop. We'll save that for the end.
Yeah,
let's save the big drop of the name for the end.
Hold on to that. Yeah.
But let's go back to... Oh, by the way, Lang, real quickly. Lang is the bodyguard that's there with Morgan. Yeah. So I thought he was great. I thought he was really fun.
I thought he was all right.
I loved his little thing at the end where he's trying to trick him in that old fat, and Mando is way too smart for him. But the cool thing about it is that Lang was played by Michael Connell Bine, he was Kyle Reese in the first Terminator.
Oh!
Which is really interesting. I feel like he didn't really do a huge amount after that, and that's kind of all I know him from.
Interesting.
But
I didn't catch that.
Really interesting. I didn't either. I when I looked it up, I was like, I wonder who played Lang.
Yeah.
And that's who it was. I thought it was
that's crazy.
Cool,
that's a
digging
cool
into
throwback.
the sci-fi,
really digging into the bucket.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's cool that he gets to play that.
Sure.
But anyway, all right. So
way overconfident, that dude.
Oh, but that was great. That
was way over.
That.
We'll be ready for her.
Yeah,
no, you won't.
Yeah, she's
won't.
She's an ex-Jedi Force user
Sir,
with 2 lightsabers.
You are not prepared.
You're done. Did you see her picking off those?
Yeah.
I liked that part of his character, though. I thought he was wonderful.
Yeah.
So Mando ends up, as we knew, building an alliance with Ahsoka. They kind of use each other's talents to get done what they need to get done so that she can get close to Morgan to ask her about her target, and he wants to obviously have her work with Grogu, and he also, he wants to save the people in the town. When he walked through, he saw them, chained up. He was like, his code makes him want to help.
Not just that, he wants the Beskar. He wants that spear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like, one way or another, he wants to get that spear.
He wants the Beskar back. So anyway, Ahsoka ends up talking with Grogu, and we find out that he was from the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
He had multiple masters train him already.
Right.
So not just one, but he had multiple masters train him. And then after the Clone Wars happened and the Jedi Temple was stormed, he was removed and he was brought to safety and kept hidden. And she said, by someone. She didn't actually mention who it was. You know who I think it is?
Who do you think?
This is completely out there.
Okay.
And it's probably wrong.
Love it.
But if it's right...
Go there.
I think it's Mace Windu.
What?
Yeah. I think Mace Windu, because he fell out the building. We never saw what happened to him. Right? How many times did Obi-Wan jump from car to car in Coruscant? He got hit. He fell out the window. He's got no hand.
Yeah.
There's a huge theory
that Mace was still alive.
That he's still living
after the fall.
Right.
And let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're not killing Sam Jackson that easy.
Not him and his purple lightsaber.
No.
So I think
good.
I think he made it back to the Jedi Temple.
I like it.
And got who he could out. And that included Grogu.
The only thing that doesn't work there is, like, you would have seen him somewhere probably in the tapes that they review from when Darth goes in and kills all of the younglings. So at some point you would have seen... Maybe.
Did we see Grogu in those tapes?
We didn't see Grogu.
Exactly.
That's fair. And the truth of the matter is you don't see Grogu anywhere. So, like, they were really... And there's plenty of shots in the prequels where we see a lot of younglings.
Sure.
And, like, we see him nowhere. There's no mention of him.
And we didn't see Ahsoka either. And so...
That's fair.
So the Jedi Temple is huge. And so we didn't see... there's lots of pieces.
But I like to believe that it sounds like Grogu had so much potential with having multiple masters training him. He was probably seen as incredibly valuable to the Order.
That's why Mace Windu rescued
exactly.
And
now I'm getting on board. Now I'm getting on board with this idea. I just love it. I love it. I hope
Dude,
we get to see that.
Imagine Samuel Jackson with lightning scars from the
lightning scars
and a robot hand.
Yeah.
I think Mace Windu is enough removed from the main Skywalker saga to not be like, I know they're trying to stay away from the main Skywalker saga, so I don't think it would be that much of a connection to have him have been like kind of a loner for all these years and have him come in, because he's no closer connected to the Skywalker saga than Ahsoka. Ahsoka's more connected because of her relationship with Anakin.
You know what? And I was gonna say, like, but because of him being so prominent in those films, he might not be coming back in. However, the argument against myself there is Boba.
I was going to say, imagine him coming in with Boba. He killed his father.
Right.
That'd be such a great back and forth.
Right.
Disney, do it. Disney.
Come on.
Come on.
I really hope we are tapped.
Are they listening?
I did find a little, like, plastic object with batteries in it here.
Did you crush it?
No, I didn't crush it.
Did you put it back on the shelf?
Yeah, I just put it back on the shelf.
Oh,
I hope they're listening.
All right, so we know which direction.
We know where to throw our voice.
All right, so Grogu.
That's a great one. I like it.
We still don't have a lot about Grogu, but we're learning more about him. She's afraid to train him.
Yeah,
she sees similarities.
Refuses.
She sees similarities between him and Anakin.
Right.
Which also harkens to Yoda's reluctance to train Luke.
Right, exactly.
Right? So this is cool.
And to train Anakin.
Sure.
That's more what I was going to. He had so much reluctance. Yoda was wise enough to have reluctance against training both Anakin and Luke.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like Yoda's on this isolated planet, Ahsoka's on this isolated planet. He gets brought there to be trained. They both get brought to be trained, and then they refuse because he's too emotional.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I will say that I am a bit frustrated about. This is starting to feel like we are going absolutely nowhere. Every single episode.
Yeah.
Every single time.
More questions.
I'm just getting more questions. Bigger people introduced.
Yeah.
Like we're getting bigger questions, more things introduced. We've now been introduced to a whole different sect of the Mandalorians, and the struggle that is going on there to be able to reunite the Mandalorians, to be able to set Bo-Katan as queen, heiress. And we then left that planet. We got sent somewhere else because we needed to go somewhere else to get Grogu trained by a Jedi.
Right.
Then we're now bouncing around over to back to
Navarro.
And on Navarro, we get introduced to all of the different beings being grown and
the possibility of the dark
infusion of the Force into the dark, or the M count into these humanoid beings.
Right.
And then we get sent to another planet. And now we're finally with Ahsoka. We're at Ahsoka. We're at a Jedi. And she's like, yeah, you got to go somewhere else.
Well, but the good news is that...
Are we gonna get to a final place where we get some answer?
Well, the good news is...
About anything?
All the ties are going to the same spot, though.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
You're saying that, and they're not going to the same place.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
What? Yeah, okay,
right,
tell me.
Here's how they're all going to the same spot. And this will actually tie into our last bit about the name that Ahsoka was looking for.
Yeah.
All right, so Din Djarin and Grogu are going to go to the planet that can draw Jedi to them, right?
Right.
Which is probably going to be Mace Windu. Just saying. Anyway, regardless.
Wait, but then the idea that you have there is that Mace gave up the child at some point.
No, maybe he lost him.
Oh, well, okay.
Anyway, all right, so here we go. So Mace is outside of this because
you have this idea that Mace,
He'll be there somewhere.
But some Jedi being drawn to him, and
so
we
they
hope
need
it
to go
would
to
be
that planet.
Mace Windu.
Right. So they're going to that planet, right?
Right.
And then Moff Gideon with the Dark Troopers, which we hope are the Dark Troopers and not Snoke.
They're not ready yet.
I don't care. They're not ready yet, which gives him the motivation to follow. So they're going to that planet. Moff is going to converge on them. So now we've got the Mandalorian.
Okay.
And we've got Moff with the Dark Trooper.
And you've got Bo-Katan
coming in. And then Bo-Katan's coming after Moff. So Bo-Katan will meet them there for Moff. Moff is being led by someone who Ahsoka is coming after, so she'll meet them there as well, because the next person in line to ask about that individual is going to be Moff. So she'll meet them there. Now they're all on the same planet, and we can get some closure. So all the strings are going to that planet.
Okay.
All
you
the strings.
Think that. You think that.
I do.
I disagree. And here's why I disagree.
All right.
Here, so I was wrong.
Yep.
In my last prediction that we were losing
the
child at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
It sure felt like it.
It did.
We were in that final scene. He left the kid alone in the ship.
Yep.
We're going back to the ship.
He's gonna be gone.
And he's gonna be gone.
He was there.
Okay, he was there. Even with him being there, I'm like, Moff's about to show up. Everybody felt like this isn't over. This isn't about to end. Something else is gonna happen here.
Nothing else happened.
Well, I mean, there was some. Ahsoka told him
what
he needed to do and where he needed to go. Yep. But the fear that the feeling that I had was like, oh, he's going to turn around and Moff's going to be right there.
Yeah.
Like with a whole set of people to then take the child. Like, that didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
I actually think this is going to get drawn out longer than you and I would like, or anybody else would like. I honestly believe we've got 3 episodes left.
Right.
I don't think now this is my new prediction. I don't think we're losing this child. He still has to lose the child.
Right,
I'm still
until
convinced.
Until
the last episode of this season. I honestly believe the last episode of this season is going to be something similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's when you lose the child. We don't get closure this season. I honestly think this entire season is about setting up all of these different storylines, and then season 3 is going to be about getting the child back, and that's when we'll actually start to get some closure or some more movement on some of these storylines.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, though. I think it will allow for some closure with Moff because of the introduction of this greater big bad, because we thought Moff was the big bad.
No, you and I didn't think Moff was the big bad.
Well, we had other ideas. Yeah, but we were wrong.
But I'm happy to be wrong on this.
Yes,
I'm happy to be wrong.
So at this point, Moff is not the big bad. We have another big bad in here who's definitely bigger and better.
Yes.
Because Ahsoka asks Morgan at the end, when she defeats her in that battle, she asks her about Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Right.
And if you are a Star Wars fan at all, as soon as they said that name, it's like,
big trouble.
Right.
Big trouble.
So Thrawn is a larger than life character that has actually not been in a lot of the extracurricular Star Wars lore, especially in the movies. He has been in the TV shows. He was last seen in Rebels.
Season 3 and Season 4, the end of Season 4.
Right, and he went missing. So he's back. He fought Ezra.
Flew off into space.
And then he eventually disappeared, and he hasn't been seen.
Right.
There's a lot of fan theories going around, even before this, that Thrawn was the one who kind of orchestrated the ashes of the Empire to be built into the First Order.
Right.
So this could actually kind of draw into that.
Well, because there's a lot in the stories where Thrawn is seen as the leader of the Empire after Emperor Palpatine's death.
Yes, he's like the ultimate. You think of the Emperor as the puppet master, but Thrawn, in a lot of the iterations of him, seems to even have more control and more kind of oversight over things than the Emperor. So the fact that he's pulling strings in this series, and we can see a live action of Thrawn, because Thrawn, he's been around for a long time. Actually, Timothy Zahn, one of the greatest extra book writers in the Star Wars universe, he wrote a trilogy called the Thrawn Trilogy that took place. The first book came out in 1991, and he wrote a trilogy about Thrawn. And then that actually got cast out. It wasn't canon anymore.
Right.
And he wrote a new trilogy in 2017 that is considered canon now for Thrawn.
And now we get this excitement around, okay, they're actually naming him.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Oh, it's going to be great.
And I'm excited for it. I think, we were initially hoping, we knew that Moff wasn't the big bad.
Yeah, somebody was going to come in.
Somebody was going to be coming in.
Or
Moff Gideon just wasn't a big enough name for that to be like what we are really seeing as the big bad in this.
Well, and he's just a Moff. He's not even a Grand Moff.
Right.
Like, he's just a Moff. So, like, Grand Moff Tarkin was really big, but even that is just a Grand Moff. But Moff Gideon's just a Moff. So,
right.
We obviously know he's got some grit to him because he was, with the Mandalorian,
has the dark
Civil
saber.
War. He has the dark saber, which I wonder if Thrawn got him the dark saber.
Maybe.
So yes, I don't know, but regardless, we have a new big bad that's come onto the scene, who we may or may not see this season. I'm assuming he's probably going to make like a cameo in the last episode.
Honestly, where it comes down to, like, I think we are going to get a huge teaser at the end of this last episode.
Oh, yeah. It's getting good, man.
It's getting real good. I just don't know. We'll see. We need to see more from
At this point, we can't pull any more out. We just have to wait for the next episode.
Right.
It's only I'm just saying, more days away.
I think this season is going to end in a shock. We're not actually going to get a conclusion.
But you know what? That can be, that we can see this. Let's hope that it can just be a satisfying continuation.
Hopefully.
More seasons
I'm never satisfied, so.
Well, we'll see. After this week's episode, we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere that you listen to podcasts. We're also on all the other major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction. Our YouTube page has some extra video content, and check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday, and we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.